Good evening, everyone. Are you able to see me? Are you able to hear me? Please type LC in the chat box, loud and clear in the chat box if you're able to see me and hear me, guys. Some, just give me a second. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I heartily welcome each one of you to this weekly family meeting. So every week on Thursdays between 8:15 to 8:45, we have this quick family meeting where the idea is to bring all the participants from our 3-hour workshops, our 5-day workshops, our silver, gold, diamond communities, and the Cine Superstars Club together for a quick catch up, just to stay connected. Even if you are not part of the advanced communities, or even if you are not part of the Cine Superstars Club, just to stay connected and have that touch with cinema. So please make sure you set your alarms for every Thursday 8:15 and join these meetings without fail. It's just a quick catch up. We'll discuss something useful about cinema and some updates from the community that's happening currently. So this Thursday, what are the updates We are almost completing the second conclave. We have completed 4 films. Last weekend, one shoot happened where our Cine Superstar Club member Anil directed his first debut short film of horror genre. So the shooting went really well. And the next film, we have already started the discussion. So Shagufta will be directing her film, which is of romance genre. And also last week, just after Ganesha Festival on 8th, we released a Kannada short film, which was shot sometime back called Kaki Banna Kanta. So it's on YouTube. We have shared the links in the WhatsApp communities and on our pages. So please go through it if you have not gone through the film yet. It's a very nicely packaged film, so I'm sure you will all love it. So do check it out. And also one more exciting update is sometime back we had started interviewing these people who come into our Cine Superstars Club community, and they complete their basic filmmaking courses, and then they come and work with me in shooting in Bangalore. And then as a part of the Cine Superstars community conclave, they go and direct their own short film. So we talked to them about how the experience was, what was the process. So we designed an interview on Instagram last time. So we are trying to bring it back very soon to our social media team. So we'll be having these interviews on YouTube live, and also we'll be putting the snippets on Instagram with a lot of behind the screen action. So that is something we are working on as a community, especially the Cine Superstars Club people. We are discussing on that. So the social media team will be doing it very soon. So these are some of the highlights of this week. Coming to the learning, actually last week, when we were discussing Shagufta's film, there was a question, there was a discussion. So she wanted to shoot it in Kaban Park, which is a public place in Bangalore, which is a famous public park in Bangalore. So when like she pitched me the idea of shooting it in a public place, the first thing I told her was, you won't get permission in Kaban Park. It's not easy. It's not, you can't get it. It's not easy. But I thought, like, many people have this they don't have an idea of how the permissions work when it comes to short films. And many people have this desire to shoot their films in public places. And when you go about it, there are certain things you should know beforehand. So that is something I wanted to talk about in the family meeting today. So how many of you want to know this? Type me in the chat box. How many of you have like tried shooting something in a public place and have been successful, or you have had some issues? So you can put it in the chat box if you have all faced any issues. So coming to permissions in short films, there are no set rules when it comes to short films. When you are making a feature film, what happens is, because feature films have a proper regulatory board, there is a censor board, there is a union for cinema and all. Normally, what happens is, whenever you are making a film, you go to a certain department and get a permission to shoot in certain public places. And if it is a private place like malls or theaters or any buildings, there you go and approach the particular person who owns that place, and you reach out to them and get permissions. So with respect to feature films, they have a set process, they follow that, and that's why there is no issue as such. But when it comes to short films right now is getting traction, and people are all, there are a lot of short film makers, there are a lot of people who run, operate drones in public places, and there are rules and regulations coming around it as well right now. But still, when it comes to short films, a lot of people freeball it. They just go and if they want to shoot in a particular place, they try to shoot the film as quickly as possible and move from there. So this works. I have done so many films like that as an independent filmmaker. I have just gone to a place. Okay, this place is suitable for a particular scene. We would have seen that place beforehand. We would have planned everything and come back. But when the actual shooting is happening, we'll keep the setup very minimal. We'll be in a robust mode, ready to run at any point of time. Because it's a small scene, we don't bother about getting permissions and all those things. We just go quickly shoot. If at all someone comes and like asks questions or creates some kind of problems, we are ready to run. So if it is one shot or one small sequence, it is okay to do that way. But suppose, like in Shagufta's case, she wanted to do the entire film in that particular park, especially a public place like Kaban Park or Lal Bagh or any public places for that matter. If you are going to stay there for a long time, I would definitely, from my experience, not advise doing it that way. So what is the proper way? Though there is no proper regulatory board for a short film, you can still go to your local police station and you can tell them that you are a upcoming aspiring filmmaker, film aspirant, you are just a filmmaking student and you are trying to make this short film. So today everyone understands what a short film is because they see a lot of these videos. And even today you might have seen so many funny reels where all these Instagram influencers, small upcoming influencers who don't have a following asset, they get caught by cops and they get some kind of they get into unnecessary challenges. That can also happen. So it's better you formally go and approach the local police station and get a written permission. What happens is if you go to a cop, most of the times they will probably be okay with it. If at all there is no major challenges in that particular place, they will be okay with it. Maybe they might ask you a couple of hundreds and they might say that a couple of many times this has happened with us when we have asked for permission. Sometimes they have even sent one constable with us during shooting if at all some issue arises. So it's not a very difficult task to do. You go and talk to them politely, you go and explain them what your aspiration is, why you want to shoot it in that place, and get that permission. Also, another thing that I always advise is if you want a park, if you want a particular place, make sure there are some local people in that particular area who are kind of big shots there or who have a good influence there. So reach out to such people and talk to them. They can deal with the cops, but if they say a word also, you get that permission. Another thing to keep in mind is always, if you are wanting a public place, always make sure that public place is some place that you clearly know very well. You are aware of that place. You have been to that place multiple times. You know how it works at different times of the day, because many times in a new place, you don't know what can happen. There have been multiple instances of people getting robbed, people getting unnecessarily assaulted in places like Nice Road Junction and all these places in Bangalore. Why? Because we don't know what kind of people can travel through that place, and if someone decides to cause a problem, the thing is, there are, like I told you, there are no set rules around shooting a short film. So people who are randomly passing by also can decide to cause a problem. Maybe they just come and stand and start watching your shooting, and after a point of time, they start creating some problem. For them, it might just be a high they get out of it, but for you, it's your camera, it's your equipments, it's the people that you have taken to the shoot. So you have a lot of things at stake. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you have a proper permission in place whenever you are going to stay in a particular location for quite some time and you are going to shoot it. If it is just like just one shot you are going to take and you are going to move ahead, that's okay. You can still do it without permission. But when you're going to shoot an entire film, maybe you're going to stay there for a couple of hours and all, it's always better to take permission. And I'm telling you, this is the process. You just go to reach out to the local police station. If at all you need some other permissions also, they will be happy to help you, or any local government body, that can BBMP or the local person who is like an influential person there. So reaching out to such people will give you the clarity on how to get the permission. But as far as my experience goes, it's always better to go to your places in your area where you have been to those places before. You know how the place is going to be throughout the day. I have had so many different crazy experiences with shooting in public places. So we normally, if we are shooting in front of a bakery or in front of some shop, we reach out to the shop owner and we get permission. But if you're shooting it inside, no problem. But if you're shooting it outside, it still becomes public place. So it's if at all a cop comes, they will definitely ask you, why are you doing it in public place? And you need to answer them. You need to kind of talk to them, convince them, negotiate with them. And sometimes they might demand more money because you're already in the middle of the shoot. So if at all you're going to go out on the roads and shoot, and you're going to stay there for a long time, and I'm talking about independent filmmaking where you just have the camera. If suppose you're putting the tripod, you're putting some lights and all, without permission, you can't shoot it at all, whether it's short film or feature film. See, some people might ask, oh, no, I have done it in my area. I have gone and shot this in some public places. I have done it. Well, in short film, the funda is as long as nothing happens, you're good. But if something happens, who is responsible? Or what will you do if something happens? Are you prepared for that? That is the million-dollar question. So it's always better to be prepared than end up in a challenge. So we have like very naively we have gone into some private places without our knowledge while we were shooting one horror film way back in 2014. We like we were shooting in the road, but there was a lot of traffic coming in. This is like outskirts of Bangalore, Electronic City phase 2. We're shooting it on a highway. But because there was too much of vehicles coming, traffic coming in, we saw that there is a farm kind of setup a bit inside, not too deep and all, just attached to the main road. So we thought we'll go inside and shoot. And after a point, it was getting late, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and no one was passing by that places. Some vehicles were going in the highway, but except that there was nothing happening. So we were comfortably shooting. We were 11 people. But then the person who owns that place, he was a local, some kind of local gunda there. So he came with a gunman and like he suddenly started talking all bakwas things, and one of our team members tried talking to him something, and he got a nice slap. And we had girls with us, so it ended up into a huge mess. And luckily, what happened? This guy had a gun, a bodyguard with a gun also, and he slapped two people. One guy said, I'm from news channel and all those. He also got slapped. Other guy was a doctor. He got slapped, and like we were all blacked out. What to do? We had girls, we had equipments, we had all these things. And then luckily, before that, in Electronic City police station, I had shot a short film. Like we had gone to the police station, asked permission, and within the police station campus, I had acted in a short film. So the cops knew me there. So one of the cops was going on a local patrol in the night time, and he saw some commotion happening, and he came inside. And once he saw me, I told him, and he like asked me, and I explained him the situation. And then he kind of cooled them down, and he said, whatever it is, we'll sort it out in the police station. And we went to the police station. And once we went to the police station, he asked us to write an apology letter, and all those things happened. And it was sorted, and we came back. This was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We came back, and we thought everything was like somehow worked out. Nothing happened. But then we realized that there was one guy in our group who was supposed to act in the film, who was going on site. So this guy like got in their car. Like we were 2, 3 cars we had. So this guy got into their car, and he was coming, or they got into his car and they were coming to the police station. So they have scared him very badly, saying, we are going to put a case on all of you. You are going to get arrested, blah, blah, blah. This guy got so scared. They said, if you give your phone and wallet, we are going to let you go. Others will anyways go to prison for this, but or get into some kind of mess for this. But you can go free if you are going to give. And this guy has given his wallet and a 30,000 phone. All this has happened. We didn't know at all. Next, like after we came home at around 3 o'clock, we got a call saying this happened. So then there was nothing we could do because he had already given. He got scared because he was supposed to go on site. And if at all a black mark comes, you won't get the visa, and all those complications are there. So because of that, he gave the phone. So we couldn't do anything about it. Then we kind of learned our lesson, and we all pulled in and bought him a phone. So this is a personal story that happened with me. And after that also, we went again, tried shooting in some other place in Electronic City, and that being a SEZ, a special economic zone. Again, we got caught by some other cops, but we didn't stop the film. We made it happen. That's our mindset. We are like, jo bhi hoga, we'll manage it, and we shot the film, made it happen. But that and many other experiences like that have happened in the past also with respect to some shootings when you go and shoot in public places. So what we now do is, if at all we are going to stay for too long, we make sure we get permissions and then go and shoot it. So in our conclave, in our community, when people start making the films, I always suggest them, keep it simple. Initially, don't complicate the process. Of course, you have to keep expanding. You have to keep pushing your boundaries. You have to keep thinking big. That is a process we are going to do. But when you get started, there are so many different things you need to learn with respect to filmmaking. So getting permissions or complicating the shoot by going into public places and all, I try to make my participants avoid it in the beginning. Why? Because let's learn step by step. Let's go about it step by step. So in our Cine Superstars Club community, I normally tell people, even if you want a public place, like I told, it can be your house balcony, or it can be a place that you very frequently go to. It can be a nearby shop or a bakery or a park that is very close to your house, and you know people there. You know people there. Maybe there is a Mali or the guard who manages that park. You talk to him, get like, see, we have short in many public places, but this is what we do. We like do a lot of preparation before the shoot. We never directly go to a place and shoot it unless it's just one shot, or just like we can sit in the car and anytime someone comes, we can just like move from there. That robust setup we always have prepared. So this is how you go about shooting it in public places. Is this clear, everyone? Type C in the chat box if this is clear. Or if you have any questions, you can type Q. I can unmute a couple of you and ask, let you ask any question, or you just put your questions in the chat box. We'll answer. But funda is very simple. When you get started, there is so much to learn with respect to cinema, short cover. There are so many technical aspects to learn. So why get into the legal aspects? And someone even asked me to write a mail on how the legal aspects of cinema happen. Guys, before trying to crawl, don't think of jumping and doing acrobatics and all. Let's take it step by step. Initially, we just need to learn to tell a story properly, and then we can worry about, see, even to be very honest with you, even for my feature film, I have not planned how I am going to. I know I have to market my film. I know what I am going to do right now to market my film. That we are doing. But how the film is going to release in theaters, what strategy we are going to use it to sell the film, all these things we are not discussing anywhere now. Why? Because there are so many hurdles we have to cross to just make the film. So thinking of all those things right now is not going to help us make the film properly. And we are independent filmmakers. We are not doing it the typical industry way. We are not seasoned filmmakers who just follow the process blindly. We explore things as we move forward. So we take it one step at a time. So when we are like almost at the verge of completing the production and we are about to start the post-production, that's when we will start thinking about how we are going to market it. Until then, you just put your head down, focus on the process, and focus on making the story shape up in the way that you visualized. That is the only goal I personally have. So I never talk about what are the legal aspects. Some things, of course, I have spoken about in the basic modules, in the course material itself, where when people ask about registering their story and all, that we have spoken about in various meetings. But I am talking about what happens after you have made the film, the release part, and all those things. When people ask me, I tell them, first, let's make these films, small films in the conclave and learn the art form of filmmaking. Then you get into making bigger short films, not bigger feature films, bigger short films. And once you have become very comfortable with taking a short film in the most professional way possible, then you start thinking of feature film. And even after you start thinking of feature film, you don't have to think about all the legal aspects first, because again, if you go the traditional way, the film budget will be different. The magnitude of the film, the way we go about filmmaking is different. As independent filmmakers, we don't go that way. We go in a very independent way where we just focus on the creative part. So there are so many different things that goes into making a film when you are going about it in a conventional style. Even the director can't direct the film unless he has a card from the union, and that card itself costs you a lot. A choreographer can't work without the union card. There are so many such things that you need to become aware once you get into the main commercial feature filmmaking game. But luckily today, because of the digital revolution and all the amazing things happening around us, even from the remotest part of the world, if you're making a film with proper storytelling, people are okay to watch your film. They don't bother, they don't mind how you made that film. And once you have made that film, the whatever legal bodies are there, if they connect to the film, they will accommodate certain things without all the proper rules also. So, and sorting out is also very easy once you have made a good content. So it all comes down to content, guys. Like I tell people, suppose you want to become a director, a choreographer. One of my friends was struggling to get a card for choreography, and it's 5 lakhs or something just to get a choreographer card in Bangalore. I don't know about other industries; it might be much costlier. So I told him, I'm like in my film, like we are doing it in the indie way. You choreograph a song so amazingly that a producer gets so impressed by your choreography that he wants to choreograph for you. He wants you to choreograph for his film, and he decides to buy you the card because he wants you. You are the talent he is seeking. It's not you are seeking for an opportunity. You showcased your full talent in a song without any feature film structure to it, without all those rules in it. Just you focused on the creative part and choreographed the song so well, and it became such a huge hit that next time a big producer seeks out who is this choreographer, and a big producer investing on a card for you is not a big deal, because when you go to a seasoned choreographer, he is going to shell in lakhs of rupees. So getting a card for a new choreographer is very easy for a big shot producer. So that is the way we have to think about independent filmmaking. That's the strategies I teach my participants also. So let's take it one step at a time, and let's not overthink things and get overwhelmed. That is the idea. I hope this is clear, and I hope this was valuable. Type 100% in the chat box if this conversation has given you clarity on how to think. Of course, if you ask 100 independent filmmakers, they will tell you 100 different stories from their experiences. Even I read a news article somewhere where Anurag Kashyap says you are not an independent filmmaker if you have at least once not gotten arrested. So there was an article where he said that. So I can connect to it very well, because independent filmmakers are crazy. Like we do this kind of things because we want the film to turn out a certain way, and we'll see whatever happens, but we want to make the film. So that is the attitude he also had mentioned. So this is how independent filmmaking happens. But once you get into conventional film industry, people will talk differently, do things differently. So that I'm not one of them. So I don't talk about those things. So, but I don't think we also, anyone in our community also needs to worry that, because by the time you are ready for that, you will have the required help from various people. Like when now I'm making a feature film, there are so many things I reach out to people who are already working in industry and take their help with those things. But right now our focus is only making the film, which is what we are good at. So I'm just focusing on that. And I suggest the same to all of you. Keep it simple in the first few films. Keep it simple, keep it contained, keep it logistically handleable. You should be able to handle it logistically. Don't get into unnecessary problems, because some people can handle such situations. Some people will really struggle when something like this happens. So make sure you keep it simple in the beginning part of your journey. I hope this is clear, guys. I hope this gave you some clarity. So this is how I want these family meetings to happen. I want to bring something valuable to the table. So I'm thinking even the experience share that our community does in our Cine Superstar Club meetings, I'm thinking if we can bring it to this family meeting, it will be much exciting. Because last week, Anil's film happened, and when I heard the experiences and all, I was so excited. So we can do those discussions also in family meeting. But like I told you, we are planning to bring a new format where we are going to interview these people in detail. So stay tuned for that. So we'll keep you posted. Mostly it will happen on Fridays. So I'll keep you posted in the group. But one suggestion is join the community, work with the community, don't work alone. The best way to scale, the best way to learn, the best way to grow is by working with the community. I hope that all of you checked out the recording of last week where all the 50 workshop participants spoke about their experiences and about like I also spoke about how they were able to crack that because of the continuous discussion of cinema that's happening in Cine Superstars Club. So if anyone is stuck somewhere in your journey and you are looking to move forward in your filmmaking journey, Cine Superstars Club is open for all of you. So join the community and we'll take it forward. Okay. So that's it from my end. We are wrapping up at 8:44 today. So I'm excited that we are wrapping up in the given time. Thank you, everyone. That's it from my end for this family meeting. Let's catch up again next Thursday. But please set the alarm and make sure you join regularly. I'm telling you, like again and again, when you start joining, the like motivation, the inspiration, the drive to become a full-time filmmaker, to get into cinema more strongly will happen because of the power of community. So just keep showing up. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a great week ahead. Let's catch up next week.